to be, he still likes it to be long on the top here. He's trying to get this all grown out really long because he just kind of wears it kind of combed over. He usually likes it like a 0 guard tapered up into the longer there. I don't know if I want to do a 0 or not, since we're wanting to let this grow out. If I do a 0, I'm going to have to cut these edges a little bit shorter, which is, he's not wanting that. So I think actually I'm going to start out with a 4 and work my way down and then go from there to see what I want to do. So first I'm going to get my 4 guard out. I'm actually thinking, I changed my mind. I want to do a 5 first. If you're not ever 100% sure what you want to do, or, you know, if you think it's going to be too short, just go on up a guard. I'm scared the 4 might be too short, so I'm going to go on 5 guard just to be safe. Okay. So I'm going to take my 5. I'm going up into the long, so I'm going to put it all the way up until I get this long part. So I'm going to take the 5 guard and I'm going to go all the way up into the long part and tilt it out. All the way up, tilt it out. All the way up, tilt it out. Keep going all the way up and tilting it out. I'm just pushing his bangs out of my way. But I don't want to accidentally cut those, so I'm just going to kind of pull those out of my way and cut that with a 5. Okay. Working my way around the head. And I'm just going from the bottom of the nape all the way up to the thick part and kicking it out. I have to stay a little lower right here on this side. He has a pelvic on this side, so it tends to kick out. So I try to stay a little lower there. Not so much you can tell, but enough to help me out. Okay, I'll push his bangs out of my way. Okay, so now I have my 5 guard cut. So now I'm going to go on down. I'm going to go down a 1/2 inch. Okay, so I did my 5 to here. I'm going to go down a 1/2 inch with my 4. 1/2 inch and kick it out. Turn around the back. Just following that guide all the way around. Okay, back here, because the occipital bone's in my way, I'm going to get him to tilt down, tilt his head down. That way I can get his neck straightened out so that it'll get the hairs better. Okay, just working my way around the head, going a 1/2 inch from that 5. Same thing on the side. Going up 1/2 inch from the 5. And stopping. Okay, so now I've got my 5. Now I've got my 3 guard out. Start in the back. I'm going 1/2 inch below my 4, so 5, 4, 3, and I'm going to stop there. And I'm just kicking it out once I get there. All right, so you can tilt his head down so that stretches his head out so I can get the where the occipital bone is better. And sometimes you got to go all different directions. As I can tell, hold your head up there. His hair kind of grows into a ducktail here. It's usually like short, thinner here on the sides, and it grows into a ducktail. Always does that. So I'm always on the side. Like this side, I got to go this direction. That side, I got to go that direction, just to make sure it hits it good, because it will not get it if I just do this. It's not even grabbing his hair. Not even grabbing his hair. So I'm having to go this way and then up. Okay. Here in the center, I'm having to go up and then go over, up and over, just to get that center piece. Okay. So ducktails are really tricky. You usually have to go to all different directions with those. So I'm going to keep going my 3 around here. And I've got 5. The reason you're looking at your inch, so you got room that way that you can have room to land from your 4 to your 5, 3 to my 4 to 3. Cards. 3, I'm just going to the temple. Out. Around this side, we'll do the same thing. Just to take that a little bit more, but I'm going to leave it 4. I'm going to leave my 3 and the 4 the same way. Okay. So I've got my let me open my door. Let me see if it's my internet. Okay, so I've got my 2 guard out. I'm just going to just taper up just 1/2 inch below that 3. I'm just going to use that just to bring this ducktail in just a little bit more. And I'm going to go right behind it. I'm actually not going to go over the 2 because I don't feel like that's it. I'm just going to go around the neckline here. Remember, we're going different directions. Again, you tilt his head. Just going around this bottom, and I'm just going to cut the 2 to the top of the ear. I'm just going to go right here around the ear. And I'm just getting those edges. So now I have done my 2, my 3, and my 4 and 5. Now I'm going to come back to my half guards. So our half guard that we used up here was a 5. So I'm going to come in with my 4 and a half because in between this 5 and this 4 right here, I need to blend that line out. So I'm going to go 4 and a half. So remember, just to do a 4 and a half, all you're doing is taking this lever and pushing it down. That's what makes it a half guard. So if you watch my blades, let me figure out how to turn it. All right, there's my 4. When I push that blade down or push that lever down, you see my blades moving up, the silver teeth? Here it is from the front, okay? Sorry, it's in a mirrored view, so it's weird. There's my 4. See those blades move up? That's a 4 and a half, okay? So I'm gonna go 4 and a half in between my 5. I'll hit my line with the 4 and a half. And don't go up any higher. Into that 5 guard. We're just hitting the line. That's all we're doing. And just make sure And all I do is just hit the line. That's it. I'm walking around the head. I'm just hitting my line. Just hitting my line. Okay. So I've blended my 4 into my 5, and I'm going to blend my 3 into my 4. So I'm going to use a half card. I'm going to come back with my 3.5. So 3, 3.5. And we know that we've done so far. And scoot in closer. 5 guard, 4 guard, 4.5. So then my 3 guard is here. I'm going to blend in between my 3 and my 4. So I'm just going to hit the line. Just the line, okay? Just hit the line. You go up any higher, you're just creating another line, and then that's something else you're going to have to blend out. Now I'm just hitting the line. And that blends that out. Okay? I'm just hitting the line. Y'all's view. Just hitting the line. And once I get to my line, after I hit it, you're not waiting. I know I see a lot of people, they think once the blade hits the line, that's when it's done. But you're not gonna see it. It's plastic, but metal, if you're waiting for the metal, so even though I'm putting this up, you see those teeth are all the way up in my eye. Silver is not. My silver is when you're getting the line. So those teeth can be all the way up here. And they ain't cutting nothing, so you have nothing to worry about. So just make sure that silver blade is what's hitting the line. The actual cutting blade. Around. And then I'm done with that one. So we know we did a 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've done my 4.5 to blend in the 4 and the 5. I've done my 3.5 to blend in the 3 and the 4. And now I'm going to have to do my 2.5 and blend this little blade in. Now I've got my 2.5 guard down, and now I'm going, here's my 3, there's my 2. I'm going to have to hit that little line right there. And remember, I didn't go all the way around the edges. I just went in the back. Just got to bring it up. I'm going to get him to tilt his head down a little bit so that he can stretch his neck out for me. Okay. All that's doing is tapering everything in. This right here is where the bone is. So that's going to look that way. It is blended in. Blended in. He's also been wearing a hat today. So that usually, you got to look at that too. If your client's been wearing a hat, then Alexis, do you remember a general idea of what I was talking about with the clippers? Well, I'm gonna play this video again. I've got it recording, Alexis Holmes, and I will play it again tomorrow. That way y'all can see it again. Okay. All right, so anyways, I've got my 1.5. So now I've blended all my lines in. And I went from a 2 up into a 3, up into a 4, up into a 5. Then I went back with my half guards, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, and then I already did my 5. So now I've blended all my stuff in, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this off the way he wants it. He's not going me to cut anything off of it. Big, so I'm going to have to blend this line, and I'm going to have to take it out a lot. And I'm not going to take his length any shorter because he wants to actually bring it a little bit more stuff with it. Water ball. And we'll spray it down. The reason I haven't sent y'all those other videos, like the one, the vertical and the horizontal, is because when I recorded it the other day, it did not save in my computer. I don't know why. I can't find it right now. But if I can find it, I will do it. You know, I just haven't been able to because I can't find it. But if I have to, I'll do another video so that I can send it to y'all. All right, so I'm just going to make sure he's evenly wet down. Because like I said the other day, if you start it wet, you want to finish it wet. You want to make sure it's all wet because it won't lay right. You don't want to cut half his hair dry and half his hair wet. So I'm just making sure everything's wet down. You just take that comb and move his hair different directions just to make sure you're wetting everything. So keep a towel on your station in case you soak them down. That way, if they need it, you get them soaked down, they can use it. All right. So I've got it combed down. He wears his hair like a sweep, like you said that's boys doing, where it kind of sweeps over to the side. So we're going to cut it like that. So most of your men's haircuts are going to be a vertical haircut. It's not hard. It's just a vertical haircut. Okay. So I'm going to turn him towards y'all so y'all can see a little bit better. So we're going to do, I'm not going to cut any length off the bangs. I'm going to nip them. I'm just going to nip the ends just so I can have me a guide to go by. Okay. So I'm literally just pulling it down, not cutting any length whatsoever. You see, you can't even see it in the camera because there's nothing. And I'm just going to nip those ends. That just gives me a fresh edge to work off of. Nipping just the fresh ends. That just gives me something to work off of when I'm layering it. I'm not going to really layer it any shorter. I'm just going to give him just where it all feathers over to the side. It's just going to give him a little bit of layering just so it'll feather better. Okay. So all I'm doing is holding those bangs down, cutting it straight down here. On that side, I'm holding it here. This side, I'm going to actually bring it over a little bit more and hold it down over here on the side. That way that when it swoops, it'll swoop from shorter into longer, like that. Okay. So now I've cut my bottom guide here. Now I'm going to go in the center, just like you do any other vertical haircut. I'm going to come in the center here. Can you see better? Here in the center. I'm going to hold that up. Right here's my guide, that baby little guide there. And I'm going to cut, walking it back. And all I'm really doing is trimming, just nipping the ends of their hair. But when people say, I just want to trim, you see that we're having to still go through the same motions as a haircut. So don't let people try to talk you into charging them less because they're just getting a trim, okay? A trim is the same as a haircut. It's just, you're just taking a little bit more, a little bit less off. But as you can see, we're still going through the motions. All I'm doing is trimming him, and we're still going through the same motions. So it's taking me the same amount of time. The amount of hair that comes off does not matter about the price. So don't let people finagle you. So I've made my guide down the center. All I did is take that guide and walked it back. Now I'm holding this straight up from the head. I'm going to see my guide here, and I'm going to just nip the ends on that. I'm going to brush that back out of my way. Take me another horizontal section, just nipping the ends. I shouldn't be taking very much off at all. One thing I don't never see y'all do is working from side to side. So make sure when you're cutting that top, let me comb this back so I can show y'all. Down because I can't see. Okay, so make sure when you're cutting the top here, you're taking a horizontal section. I'm pulling that section straight up from the head, okay? There's my guide, and I'm going to cut. But then you're not done there. You need to walk from this side and this side so you can get those corners cut off of there. So I'm going to cut here, cut this baby corner off here, and I'll come around to this side and do the same thing. Cut that little corner off there. So now all across through here, I'm at a 90. And I'm just using my traveling guide. Take me another subsection. I'm pulling it up here in the center. I'm just barely nipping my ends. And I'm going to work it across to this side, trimming those ends. And I'm going to work it across to this side, trimming those ends. And then I'm done with that. So now this very last section here, you need to over direct it all the way back. Remember what I said the other day? I'm going to over direct it back, just like that. So about right here, right in front of the ear, okay? I'm coming here, and I'm over directing that all the way right in front of the ear. Okay. Over directing this back. Okay. And I'm just walking it across because I can't hold that whole section in my hand at one time. I'm just walking it across. Getting it all blended in together. Okay. So now that I've got my top cut the way that I want it cut, now I'm going to come in here and I've got to blend this line out. Okay. Here on the side, I've got to get that line blended out. So right here, I'm going to push his bangs out of my way. Usually I comb down and see what covers the forehead. I know that that covers the forehead. And you can even like move that back down and check yourself. So I know that all that, I don't need to touch that. But anything from here backwards, I can shave it off and it'd be fine because it wouldn't make a gap in his bangs. Okay, so I'm going to take this section vertically. Reposition. I'm going to take this section vertically. And I'm going to cut this little corner off. I'm going to walk it up because I've got to walk it up to the top guide. So just like with any other haircut, you're walking from the bottom guide to the top guide. I'm going to walk it up and cut that corner off. And then I'm done with that part. Take another vertical section. There's my bottom guide. Cut. And I'm walking it up. There's my corner. Cut. So to some extent, I know that some clients say, I don't want my top cut at all. To some extent, you're not cutting their top, you're cutting their side. Okay, so don't let that freak you out because you're walking it up to the top. You're not cutting the top, you're cutting the side. And you're having to blend it into the top or it looks tacky. Okay, so guide, walking it up, and cut. My guide, okay, and then I'm going to walk it up to the top guide, cut my corner. I'm done with that. I'm just going to continue around the head doing the same thing. Bottom guide cut, walking it up into my top guide. Now, as you get back here to the crown, that's when you're going to have to be a little bit more cautious. See how it's starting to take that weight out of there now? It don't have all that weight that it had. And I can take my texture out of the shears and blend that on in. So right back here in the crown, usually I do leave this a little longer because his crown tends to stick up. So I usually just cut it one time right there, and I'll leave that with some weight on it. And I'll take my thinning shears and just blend that in some. So yeah, it does look heavy right there, but I have to or his hair will stick up. So I just use the blending shears and blend it all in. Same thing here. I'm just going to hold that up vertically. Okay. Walk it up a little bit more and cut my little corner out. Okay. I'm going to continue around the head. Make a section. There's my guide on the bottom. Cut. I'm walking it up and cutting my corner out there. Vertical section. There's my bottom guide. Okay. Then I'm pulling a little bit of that top guide back so that I can see where I'm blending it into. Bottom guide. Okay. And walking it up into my top guide. So I've still got a little bit of weight in there, but I know that when I take my texturizing shears through here, that's going to take some of that out. But I usually try to leave just a little bit of weight in the crown. If I know that their hair sticks up, I usually try to leave a little bit of weight. And then I take the texturizing shears to all this so that it takes some of that weight away so you can't see that it's left a little longer. Okay. Coming here on this side. Right there. Taking a vertical section. Let me figure out how to. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take a vertical section. It's in a mirror view, so it's weird. All right. There's my bottom guide. Okay. And I'm just walking it up until I hit my top guide. So do y'all see how there's a corner? That corner I talked about the other day? Top guide, bottom guide. Take my corner out. I drop my comb. You ever drop your comb? Just pick it up, throw it in your dirty stuff, and get you a new comb. Don't use the same comb that you dropped on your client. Okay. Continuing walking around on the side. There's my guide. Cut. And I think a lot of times when y'all do clipper cuts, not everybody, but some that I've seen, y'all just don't hold it low enough down here. Just like y'all always miss your 45 down here. Right here, you got to think, you got to do a 45 right here too. You got to hold that down low so that you can get it blended in with a clipper guide. Okay. So I'm going to take that section. I'm sticking my comb in flat on the scalp. That comb is flat on the scalp. I'll take my fingers and go right behind that. And I'm just pinching and letting my fingers push that out. And that's how I'm able to get that so close on that. Then I'm not sliding my fingers. I'm just leaving my fingers sitting there, putting the comb right behind it. Re-gripping. Now I'm going to take all that length off of there. And all I'm doing is walking it up until I hit my top guide. All right, and I'm taking my other vertical section. Here's my bottom guide. Okay. Now all I'm doing is walking it up into my top guide. So top guide, bottom guide, cut my corner. So now when I get to the very top here, one thing I like to do when they swoop their hair over like they do is I will take this whole section here, like half the head, and over direct it this way, okay? I'm doing that so that when I sweep it back the opposite way, it'll have, it'll sweep over really pretty. Kind of like you, when you're cutting bangs, if you want to wear them to this side, you're going to take them to the opposite side. It's the same thing with the sweep haircuts. So I'm going to take this whole subsection here. And I'm going to take this whole top right here, and I'm going to sweep it the opposite way. Using that bottom guide, and I'm just going to cut. Take my other subsection, Palm it the opposite way. My bottom guide and cut. What that's going to do is leave it a little shorter there on that side and sweep over into my longer on that side. Okay. Now we've got his haircut the way he likes to wear it, where it sweeps over to the side and it's all fading in on the edges. And now he can comb it over and wear it any way he wants to. So now I'm just going to come back with my blending shears, blend the sides in, and take my thinning shears on the top so that I can take some of this weight away. So you're on this side. I'm just taking my comb and I'm sticking it in. Hold your head like that. I'm sticking it in, and then I'm going to do my thinning shears like that, okay? And all I'm doing is taking that weight away. Okay? Spinning him around, taking that weight away. And I'm just walking it up into the top just to take some of that weight. Spin him around. Same thing here. Walking up into the top, taking weight. Okay. Now, if you see weight did clippers, you can use these. It's okay. You just use them just to take some weight away. Sometimes I do that there. If I see that something looks heavy, I'll use them. What they're here for. All right, so I'm gonna pick this whole section up because I feel like it all needs it. This is where I left it longer. So I usually pick this whole section up and I hit the ends of it really good so that it can take some of that weight away there. Without cutting it too short. Pick that whole section up, take in it. There. Like I had before. Start seeing it the window away from. Working it around. Around on my side. Okay. Now let's take the top and take some weight out of this top. So I'm just going to come across the top of the head, pick that section up, and hit the ends. I'll comb it out. Pick that section up, hit the ends. I'm going to do that all the way across the top. Just thin those ends out so they will be wispy instead of being chunky where I cut them. Okay. That's all you're doing, just walking across the whole top, thinning it out some. All right, so when you get to the bangs here, I'm almost there. I get to the bangs. I'm going to over direct those back a little bit. Pick them up and thin the edges of them. Taking some of that weight out of that. I usually go down like whenever I'm picking up, I'm usually like about an inch from the ends is where I thin. Okay. That hair going everywhere. All right. Now we've got it all trimmed up. We've got it thinned out the way he likes to wear it. Kind of swoops over to the side. Now I'm just going to edge him up. Okay, usually Michael does like a zero guard faded up, but since he is trying to grow this top out a little bit more, I suggested that he leaves it a little bit longer here so that I don't have to cut anything off of here while it's growing, okay? So now all we got to do is just trim the edges up and he will be good to go. All right. Okay, so y'all see how he's got his ducktail, and you see how this is thin and this is thin. So guess where I'm gonna have to take that line? All the way up to the thin parts, because if not, it's gonna look tacky. So don't feel like you're cutting their hair off or taking their neck line way up. Sometimes you got to take it up a little higher to make it look good instead of making it looking tacky. All right, so I'm just following where that thin part is, and I'm going to square it off. So now that looks a lot better. All right, so I see right here, we still got some long pieces, so I'm going to take that, push it the dot direction, and taper that in a little bit so it doesn't look so tacky. So now that tapers that in close where it looks nice. Okay, so I've got that side squared off. And I'm just following that line. That's all I'm doing. Continue following that line. Now same thing on this part. So I'm going to have to taper that in. Get your client to look down so you can make sure that your line is straight. So when you look down, actually have a crooked line. So make sure they look down so it's straight. And then right here on the side. Okay? So I'm going to just square his sideburns off there. And then I'm just going to go around his ear. Right here, I couldn't get the clipper close enough, so I'm actually going to stick that comb in and taper that in closer. So I'm sticking the comb in and tilting it out. That tapers that in a little closer. Okay. So now around the ears, all I'm doing is just coming down, following that guy, and around the ears here. I'm just going straight down into my there's that kind of. So now I'm going to come to this side, do the same thing. I'm just squaring that off right there. And I'm going down at an angle down into my nape guide. Then I'm going to come around the edges, just knocking the long parts off. This right here at the ear, I'm going to taper it in. And I'm going to come around the top here, knock the long parts off. And all I'm doing on sideburn is just squaring it off. Here on the side, I like to come in there and taper that in. That just makes it look nicer. Come in here and knock the long pieces off of it. Okay, so now we just got that on there. Alright, so that's just how you do a sweep haircut. You got it, I don't know what they call it, but I call it a sweep haircut. Where it's a 2 guard